Hi, and welcome to the Sales Growth Showcase, where we share insights from today's top sales leaders so that you can make more money and be better connected to those you serve. Today, I am joined by Chris Kingman. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you share with the listeners a little bit more about who you are and how you impact others?
Thanks, Mark. My name is Chris Kingman. I'm the Global Head of Digital Sales Enablement for TransUnion. My team and I are responsible for arming our sellers with the knowledge, skills, and technology to thrive in digital selling channels.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to the conversation today. So let's jump right in. And the big question that is most often on my listeners' minds is, what are you and your teams doing to grow sales today?
Sure. So we're a newly formed team. Our current focus is on capturing the right data to help inform winning sales strategies, implementing the right sales tech aligned to how we sell, and focusing on the development and skills and abilities of our digital sellers. Our aim is to create a data-driven, technology-based sales organization that can compete in this modern buying environment.
And compete, we must do. And without question, there's so much going on. You mentioned that the modern sales and buying environment, so much change going on. So let's talk about in particular in your world, what is one key challenge that is standing between you and your teams growing their sales?
Well, probably not the most attractive topic or exciting, but we're working to identify and stop non-sales related activities. All of those little admin activities that distract our salespeople or anyone's salespeople, I hear it a lot. We're looking to categorize those things and then supplement those actions with either other teams to support or even bringing in machine learning or AI to sort of streamline our processes. We're looking to really reduce and eliminate a lot of that administrative noise, if you will, from our sailors day to day.
And undoubtedly, without question, there are so many distractions, so many things that can pull us away from the sales process and get us bogged down in some of the minutia. Just a follow-up to that, have you identified or noticed patterns of what is one or two of the top, administrative or those tasks that do pull your teams away most frequently?
Sure. So chasing down contracts is always one that will distract a lot of sellers. Over reliance on this is my deal. I need to make sure I know exactly where it is rather than trusting the status of it or the position of it within a system. And then I think a lot of unnecessary back and forth between teams or between internal stakeholders when coordinated effort could be had through, and I hate to say it, but a short meeting to make sure everybody is aligned. A lot of those things executed correctly can cut anywhere we've estimated between 20 to 30% of somebody's time over a week down, depending on where they're focusing at the moment.
So a significant, being able to get away from a significant distraction by, number one, being able to improve communication across the team. And it sounds like the professionals being able to trust in the process and not necessarily try to micromanage every single step of the way. Oh,
exactly. The process works if you work it.
yeah. Now, how about from the other side of things? So with all of the change going on in the sales market today, what is a key area of opportunity that you are seeing for your teams?
So it sounds cliche, but efficiency and effectiveness. We've seen improvements on how much and how quickly we can sell with anecdotal evidence that our customer relationships have been strengthened through the migration to digital. There is benefit to having the flexibility of a digital seller working from home because they can meet the seller at outside of 9 to 5 business times or We can have email interactions maybe outside of that typical window when they would be away from their desk. We've also seen a lot of our customers and the sellers become closer and more aligned, more like partners, if you will, than vendors. As we sort of faced this challenge together. So we've gotten a lot of benefits out of that when looking at processes and technologies, and removing a lot of inefficiencies. We've been able to sort of drive some of our sellers to be able to do more in less time, or at least get more out of the time that they're using.
That's great. You also mentioned earlier that you're always looking for opportunities to see if automation, if there are parts of the process that can be automated. So where do you see, when it comes in particular to automation, or when we hear the buzzword AI or artificial intelligence, what are some areas that you have identified that you do believe automation can play a big role in helping sales teams be more effective?
So certainly pre-sales. There's a variety of statistics that are always floated, how far along your customer is in the buying process by the time they talk to you. But let's just say it's 70%. You can use a combination of AI backed platforms to bolster your online, say your website, or say some channel that you operate in, so your customers are becoming self-educated in a little bit more of an interactive way. You're also becoming aware of how prospective customers are interacting with that content, so you know the exact time to uh, possibly interject or reach out to them and talk to them. And then there's other tools where, driving buyer alignment, I think, is going to be one of the emerging trends that you're going to be hearing sales enablers talk about. Is there's more and more buyers in a committee, right? Businesses are less hesitant to make buying decisions because it can result in a bad one. And so I think you can use a lot of the AI to make sure that consistent messaging is going to the right types of buyers, or the right buyers in a group. You can also make sure that you know which customers are ingesting which pieces of content. So if somebody needs to know something in particular, you can serve it up to them, and or the inverse, you can ensure everybody's on the same page and has ingested the same presentation or video or things like that. And then I think post sales, it's a lot easier to sell to people who have a relationship with you. Use AI, use machine learning, and mine your own data. Amazon does a great job of it, and they constantly remind you of everything everybody who bought what you bought is also buying. And there's a good chance that you'll react to that. Why not use that with your customers? There's a good spectrum of your customers that don't buy a specific mix of solutions. Going through your data, use AI tools, find those solutions, and fill those gaps, cross sell, run campaigns, and it's a great easy way to sort of let's say maximize wallet share.
Right. Well, we appreciate you sharing insights from your successful career. Let's turn the question towards your experience in your career. Let's say you meet somebody that is fairly new to sales, or maybe sales leadership, sales enablement, and they're asking you for one key nugget of advice to help them feel more confident in today's market. What's something that you would pass along?
Certainly. The one word answer is listen. The bigger explanation is spend time on understanding your customer or your prospect's challenges, and focus on providing direct evidence or proof of how you can or have solved those challenges with the solutions that you provide. Always lead with value and verifiable outcomes, not features and benefits.
That's great. Listening, the more you can listen and better understand your specific customers' needs, the more you can speak their language, the more you can empathize with them,
Mhm.
and to make sure that your solutions are aligned to their specific challenges that they're facing. Oh, thank you, Chris, for taking the time to join us. No doubt there you've had folks in your life that have had an impact on your career and your success. Is there somebody that comes to top of mind you can think of that may be beneficial for me to connect with and perhaps invite on the show?
Certainly, if you can get to him, Anthony Iannarino has been, instrumental in sort of pointing me in certain directions, or giving me the maybe the context and the insights I need to sort of work through all the, some of the major moments in my career or choices. So an amazing sales coach, an author as well, but also just an amazing person to talk to.
Great. Well, I'll look forward to connecting with Anthony. I appreciate you mentioning his name here, and I will do my best to break through and connect with him and have a conversation. Sounds like somebody very impactful.
Certainly is.
Well, Chris, thank you again for taking the time. The time goes by very quickly, but we want to make these episodes very digestible for listeners. So we appreciate you being here and sharing your experiences and your insights with our listeners.
Great. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Right. And folks, if you haven't already subscribed to the show, please make sure that you do so that you're notified of upcoming episodes. And until next time, I hope you reach invincible success.